Right, I know what you're thinking, where the hell have you been? Well, when I made my first video, I believe that I said that essentially what this channel is going to be is sort of a fun side project, a hobby project, something where I can just have fun making videos. So that means no like schedule or anything, like there might be some months where there's no videos, where I just take a break or whatever and then come back all of a sudden. And that's basically what happened, because I had some stuff going on in my real life. I wasn't really feeling gaming at the time, and so I just took a break from the gaming and took a break from making the videos on it. But all of a sudden I've got my new hyperfixation, and that hyperfixation is Diablo 2. So what you're looking at right now is some footage in the background that I already recorded yesterday. This was me just playing like the first start of this character in Diablo 2. Now before I get into the Diablo itself, I just want to say that the Minecraft series isn't necessarily dead. I just took a break from it for a while, but I will probably come back to that world and play some more. I don't really want to abandon anything that I come up with on this channel like completely, unless there's a good reason for it, but I might take breaks like I have with that. So on that note, the same thing could happen here. It might be that, you know, Diablo 2 doesn't really hook me and I only make a few episodes, or I make a bit and then I take a break or whatever. Or it might be that I get really hooked on this game and I'm putting out regular episodes for a long time. I don't know what's going to happen, so just like bear with me. But anyway, before we really get into the meat and bones of this, I wanted to go over a few things that you might be wondering as you're watching this. First of all, why am I playing with the old graphics? Why am I not playing Diablo 2 Resurrected? Well, I actually started playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. I'm not very far in it right now. I'm in like Act 3 at the minute, and that's in normal mode. But I've always been like a sucker for old games. I like old games. I like old pixelated graphics. I like that nostalgia. It reminds me of like a better time. And back in the day, I tried out Diablo 2, but I was like absolutely awful at it. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how to do like quests and stuff. So I was just running around the first area killing mobs, and then like leaving and coming back so they'd respawn, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I got to like, I don't know, level 5 or something, and then I just gave up. And then I think a friend let me on their account and I played their like level 99 character, and all I did on that was the same thing. I just ran out into the first area, used a bunch of their abilities, watched everything die in an instant, and then got bored of that and like logged out. So I've never properly played Diablo 2. The closest to that I've come is the, you know, first 3 acts that I've played right now in Diablo 2 Resurrected. But I want to go back and I want to play the original game, and so that's what I'm doing here. Now in D2R I am playing a Summon Necromancer, but I wanted to play something different here, so I'm going for a Paladin. Now I don't know much about Diablo 2. I've watched a bunch of videos, so I'm learning a little bit, but I don't know what all the good items are, I don't know what all the good abilities are, I don't know how to make builds, I don't even know about anything that's in Act 4 or Act 5. Except I know that you eventually fight Diablo, but that's probably a given the name of the game. So this is not quite a completely blind playthrough, because like I said, I've played to Act 3 in D2R, and I've watched some videos and some content on Diablo 2, but like, when I watch those videos, people get really technical. They're like, use these rune words and you get this item from running this whatever, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I have no idea what any of those words mean. So this is a close to blind playthrough, and it's going to be blind for this class as well, because while I have some experience with the Necromancer now, I have no experience with the Paladin, so I'm just going in and winging it. So next question you might be asking, am I using any mods? Yes, I'm using the mod called Pluggy. Now Pluggy gives you a basically like near infinite stash, it gives you infinite respecs, and it adds some content that was previously only available in online Battle.net mode, like some ladder only rune words and stuff. Which is relevant because I'm not playing online, I chose to play single player. So why did I choose to play single player? Well, on the old version of Diablo 2, believe it or not, you had to log into your characters at least once every 90 days, or they just got deleted on the online version. So if you want a character that will just stay forever and you don't have to remember to log in every 90 days, then you need to play single player, which is what I'm going to do. So is the big stash and the infinite respecs cheating by using Pluggy? Well, it seems like basically everyone is using Pluggy or playing this mod called Project Diablo 2 these days. And a lot of people recommended it to me and said I should use it. And I think the people that don't use Pluggy use things like Go Mule to mule their items and, you know, essentially have an unlimited stash. Now on the respec side of thing, I did feel a little bit cheaty with the ability to infinitely respec, because you can just hit that respec button anytime and change all your abilities as many times as you like. And I feel like that sort of takes away an element of building up a particular character, because when you have the original game with no mods, you get 1 respec per difficulty level as far as I'm aware. So there's 3 difficulty levels of the game and you play through them in order. And each difficulty level there's an ability to reset your skill points once. So you can reset and change 1 time per difficulty level, so 3 times total. So that means you can change your build 3 times, but basically you're mostly stuck with a particular build for quite a while. And I think that adds an element of like, I don't know, it makes your character more special because you build it a certain way. There might be some mistakes in your build that just sit there in your skill points. There might be certain things you do, particularly for leveling up, that you then still have at end game because you essentially just had those points so you didn't have an extra respec. I don't know, I think stuff like that gives your characters actual character. But, like I said, I'm going into this completely blind, and as far as I know, Diablo 2 can be quite a hard game, particularly on Nightmare and Hell modes, which are the 2nd and 3rd difficulties respectively. So I feel like going into this my first character and just going with the default system where I only get 1 respec, I think it's just going to like lead to a lot of pain. I think I'm just going to end up messing up my build, being really unhappy with it, and then thinking, oh god, I've just messed up this character and now I can't change anything. Or what's even more likely to happen is I'm going to be overthinking my build so much that I'm just going to go and copy a build guide 1-to-1, just, you know, so I don't mess anything up. And I don't really want to do that. I want to like make my own build. I don't want to like rely on a guide. I might look at guides for like tips and stuff, like what skills are just generally good, but I don't want to follow a build 1-to-1. I don't like that when I'm playing an ARPG. I think part of the fun of this genre is crafting your own builds. So for that reason, I'm happy to have the infinite respec button, and I'm going to use it and I'm going to abuse it. Next thing you might be asking is, why did I choose Paladin? What made me want to pick Paladin? Well, I don't really know all the classes that well, but what I do know is that Paladin is basically like the sword and shield guy, but he also has like these really cool auras that have particular effects and that. And I always like the like magic sword wielder, the guy that like has a bunch of buffs and stuff, or can cast spells as well as, you know, fighting in melee. I did also like the look of the Barbarian, and I of course love the Necromancer, which is why I chose it on D2R. But I don't know, something about the Paladin just stuck out to me. And also, I've seen some videos of the Paladin, and I don't know if this is Paladin specific gear or whatever, but I've seen them in some gear that I think just looks really cool in the old D2 LOD engine. And on that note, do I have any ideas yet on what I want my build to be? So I do have one idea. I saw this guy that was doing this thing, he was using this ability called Holy Freeze, and essentially what was happening around him was all the enemies around him were getting like frozen and slowed down, so they could barely hit him because they were moving at like a tenth of their normal speed. And I just love that idea. I love the idea of just freezing enemies around me so they can hardly attack me. In general, I love the idea of being like really tanky or hard to hit in games, so that idea just vibes with me. But how I'm going to build towards that, because that's a level 18 ability from what I recall, and how I'm going to like build past that and so on, I have no idea yet. We're going to find out as we go, and there's probably going to be some mistakes along the way. Next question, am I doing hardcore? No, I'm not doing hardcore. Next question, am I doing solo self-found, i.e. where I play a character and just collect all the characters' items without any sort of trading or without any sort of muling between characters? I think so. I think I'm going to try and get all of this character's gear just on this character. So I think I will try not to trade anything to him from other characters that I make along the way. But what I might do is I might trade stuff off him, if that makes sense. So like if I find a really good item that will be good for another character, I might put that in like the shared stash. But if I find a really good item on another character, I don't think I'm going to give it to this guy. I think this guy, I want to have him just farm his own gear. And I guess the next question is, why Diablo 2? Well, honestly, I love grindy games. I am an old school RuneScape player, so I like going into a game, grinding the same thing for hours and hours, hoping to get a particular drop. And Diablo 2 is like the original loot grind game. It is the original game that started that whole trend. And so I thought it would be great to go back to it and experience some of that, especially since I never experienced it properly back in the day. So the last thing I figured some of you guys might want to know is, how is this series going to work? Like, what am I going to be showing? Am I going to be doing like a playthrough where I show everything that I do? Am I going to be doing like update videos? What am I going to be doing? So I think I'm going to go with the update video format. I think it's just less stressful. I've noticed that when I was doing a Terraria playthrough on my Lucid Dreaming channel, I was doing like a Terraria playthrough for Patreon, I was recording everything, and I started to find it stressful to play Terraria because I would like get in the game and I would go, oh, I need to have OBS up, and then I would have to be like checking that my recording's still going, checking that I haven't missed anything, save the recording. I would make sure I need to like catalog it, and then I would remember I need to edit all of these clips together, and it would just get like stressful. I just found that I was logging into the game and I was thinking more about making sure the recording is right than actually playing the game. I don't want that. I want to like just enjoy and have fun. I think I said this actually with my Minecraft series as well. I just want to like show what I'm doing when I'm like feeling like recording, and the rest of the time I'll just like play off camera. So in this video I'm showing some early footage from like the start of the game, but after this I think I'll be like pulling out update videos where I'll be like, oh, I'm done with Act 1 now, or like here's me facing this particular boss, or like here's a cool drop I just got. And I also might just do some videos where I just sort of shoot the shit with you guys, where I just come on and chat shit and play the game in the background while I'm doing that, or I just talk over some earlier footage that I recorded when I was doing something else. Now, one thing I would like to ask from you guys is please don't spoil anything for me. Since I'm going into this blind-ish, I kind of want to experience everything for the first time. But you're welcome to give me like general tips as long as it's not too spoilery or too like super like detailed. Like don't give me like a full build for my Paladin, but you might say, hey, this ability is really good, it does this. Or hey, this boss drops this really cool item, you should go and farm them. But anyway, I'm curious, how many of you guys have played Diablo 2? Or have you played any of the other Diablo games? And which one was your favourite? I know Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 don't have quite the reputation that Diablo 2 has. And from what I've seen of like videos of them, I don't think I would enjoy them as much as I think I'll enjoy Diablo 2. But I've heard some other people say that they're amazing, so I don't really know. And I'm also curious, if you've played Diablo 2, have you played the original? Or have you just played D2R? Or just the original, both? And have you played any mods as well? Like, I want to check out this mod called Project Diablo 2 at some point. I've heard it's really good and that it adds some like endgame mapping stuff like from Path of Exile into Diablo 2, because the original Diablo 2 didn't really have much of an endgame. And I thought that sounded pretty cool and I want to check that out at some point, but I thought I wanted to play vanilla first. I just wanted to experience the game like as it was back in the day, or well, close to that. I'm using that pluggy mod, but nothing like fancy that changes the game mechanics. So anyway, to discuss a bit of the footage that you've been watching in the background as I've been talking, I'm not sure which bits you're going to have seen at this point because I'm recording this audio later, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to like splice it over clips or like a full section of the footage. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. So I'm not sure which bits you've seen, but I want to talk about my early decisions with skills, which is that I've put some points into sacrifice and I've put 1 point, I believe, into might. So might gives me an aura that gives me more damage, and I thought that would just be useful. It looked like it was like a pretty effective ability for just something that you can just dump 1 point into, and so I did that. And then sacrifice looked like it would just be a good like auto attack replacement, sort of. I'm not sure how it works really, because I was using sacrifice and it says that it sacrifices like 8% of your life points to make you hit more. But I noticed that like sometimes my life points seemed to be going down when I was attacking people with sacrifice, other times they didn't. And I don't know if it's just that it's going down a really tiny amount and I'm not noticing it until I've used it a bunch, or if it's only going down and only getting triggered at certain times, and like what is making it trigger, I don't know. So I'm still a bit confused about that. I don't know if I made the right choice, but it does seem to be killing things pretty fast. I think what I might do next is I might get a point or two in Holy Fire, because this is like the precursor to Holy Freeze, which does a fire aura. Now I don't know what the fire aura does. Is it just fire damage, or does it have any effects like how the freeze one has a slow effect? I'm not sure, so we're going to find that out. I'm going to have to look into it in a minute. The reason that I'm not looking into it right now is because, like I said, this footage in the background was recorded beforehand, so I'm not in game as I'm recording this. I think for future videos, by the way, I probably will record as I play, for a lot of it anyway. But I just wanted this video because I was going to be giving a lot of like background info about how the series is going to go and some of my decisions and some of that stuff. I thought it would be better if I recorded it separately from the playing. Anyway, I think I'm going to keep this introductory video quite short, but this is just me introducing this Diablo 2 series. If you're hyped to see more, make sure you subscribe and potentially leave a like or a comment down below. And if you have any cool tips or you want to talk a bit about your experience playing Diablo 2, then please do leave that as a comment. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode soon.